right, hello and welcome. Welcome to this incredible video that we're so excited to share with you how to move through the transitions in our lives. Okay, we are here where I am with Northern Hemisphere. We're coming in from a lot of light to darkness. Okay, where Judita is, we're coming from a lot of darkness into light, and whether it's one or the other, it's transitions, and this takes a toll on the body. This takes a toll on the emotional body, on the mental body, physical, spiritual as well. And today we're supporting you in navigating this very thing. But before we begin, Judita, welcome. And can you please lead us through a connection practice to reconnect to the body, right? So that we can actually truly take in the information that we're sharing with the audience today.
I love that. Hello, and welcome. I'm so glad that you just said that because I was feeling some pressure in my lower back. So I feel like this is just perfect timing to just do a little bit of grounding and connecting to your body. So wherever you are sitting, wherever you are watching this or listening, just, find a comfortable position where you feel good and just slowly tune into your body, noticing whatever is happening in your body. Do you feel some pain somewhere? Do you feel some pressure? Maybe you feel good in your body, so notice that you feel good in your body and how good does it feel to be alive. Connecting with your breath. Deeply inhaling through your nostrils and exhaling through your mouth. Feel free to also make a sound and deep inhale, hold for a few seconds and then exhale. Another deep inhale, the deepest one you took all day, or maybe you're just starting your day. So just a really, really deep inhale and exhale. I'm going to enjoy this moment here with you as well. So feel free also to touch your body wherever it needs to be held. So it might be your heart space, it might be your belly. It might be that you are actually having palms on your body, on your knees, facing downwards or facing upwards, depending if you want to receive or if you want to give yourself. Whatever feels comfortable and right. There is no wrong and right in this moment. It's just what feels good for you. Notice if there are any thoughts coming in, not trying to get rid of them, just noticing whatever is happening in your headspace. And I just want to invite you into knowing that this is a safe space for you to be here with us. This is your moment. You're an amazing being. You are energy. You are more than just this body. You are worthy. You are enough. Really feeling deeply whatever is present with you right now. If you don't feel like your position is right, just change it. Slowly extending your arms or just stretching. And wherever you feel ready, just slowly opening your eyes. You can even light the candle to make this, like, make this moment even more special, to bringing the
Sacred
light in.
space. Yeah.
Sacred space, yes, because Anna is heading towards winter time, so it's about the time to bring more light in. And my days here in New Zealand are extending, so change of the seasons. Mm.
Beautiful. Thank you so, so much. That was amazing. I want to give a few pointers to those watching where, I mean, Yudita and I, this is why we're teaching this. This is why we're doing this. This is why, actually, at the end of it, we want to share something that we're co-creating together. The reason we're doing this is because we've gone through this path. And as Yudita was guiding us, I could just hear like an old version of me. And maybe some of you that be like, what does that mean, feel your body? Because she was saying it's like, oh, feel your body and what you're feeling. And I remember being like, what does that mean? I'm fine. Because I was so in the mind. And it's like, I didn't know how to stop. I didn't know how to feel my mind. And if you're in that place, feeling gravity hold you, just like focus on the sensation because that feels really real. And if you can feel yourself feeling really heavy and like feeling your bum on the chair or whatever you're sitting on, that's a good start. That grounding is, you being more aware of like, okay, this is the weight of my body on that which I am sitting on. Um, then Yudita was guiding us into the breath. For some people, it works. For some people, it doesn't. But that does bring awareness to the body as well. And that's just a point. And I love how also you said that at the beginning, you're like, oh, this is a great time to do it because my back, there's some pressure there. And part of what we want to address today, how to support you guys in navigating these transitions, is actually being courageous enough, because it requires courage, being courageous enough to tune into the body, being courageous enough to be sensitive to the body. Yudita, you shared this in our previous videos, and I would love for you to talk about this. Where have you always been like that? Have you always been like, oh, there's a bit of pressure? Was it like, oh, is that pressure? I don't really know. Who cares? I'm on a go, go, go. I have things to do today, right? What was that transition like for you, and why is it, first of all, why is it courageous to actually be like, oh, what happens when you fully tune into the body for the first time, and that transition, how it can that can be overwhelming, but also why it's so important to do that.
Mm. Well, this is a beautiful question because I was on the like having a walk with my friend today, and it was really interesting because she shared with me, oh, I'm just like I can't relax. I just can't have a second on the sofa. I always need to be productive. I need to do something. I just like feel like there needs to be always something done. And I just looked at her and I was like, wow, this is me like some years ago, where I just felt so guilty if I didn't do anything when I if I was just lying for 5 minutes, and if I did, I was just like thinking, what else should I do? And just like stuck in my mind, what's next? What's next? Where I need to
Mm,
go and achieve and do and work so much and create everything what I wanted to create, and then created nothing. So and I just realized how it took the courage and it took the work, hard work, to do all this, what I've done with myself, but also for you, that you can do this work, that everyone I was sharing with her, I was like telling her about the healing I do, and like, what am I experiencing, what am I feeling when I'm just like tuning into my body. And she was like, wow, that sounds crazy. Like, this is so interesting. And I'm like, yes, but everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. Everyone can, like, heal themselves. Everyone has that intuition, especially like women have such a strong intuition. They can tune into their body. And that's what I really, really want to encourage everyone, that you can do it. it's not just me or Anna. It's like you can do it. Like there is like, way out of like, out of suffering and just doing and like like that overworking flow you are experiencing and that emptiness. And of course it takes courage. It takes courage to get into the point or especially with my story, I got into the point where I had to say enough because I had such a scrutinating pain in my body, actually in my lower back like body, and that this like what I was experiencing in the beginning of the meditation was just a little like discomfort, but I had
Yeah.
a really really big pains where I couldn't walk, and I was in my 30s, and I just felt like, wow, is this me for the rest of my life? Is this like gonna be me like this? And that was a really like turning point for me where just said like, enough, I need to ask for help. Because I realized that I can't do it alone. I until that day, like I was doing everything on my own. I was avoiding other women. I was just like, trying to do the work just by myself, some kind of work, but it just didn't work. Like I couldn't do it because it's not possible. And I like also felt a lot of like shame around like asking for help,
Mm.
right? Because, you know, you don't ask for help, you just push through
No,
and you
you're
do the
weak.
thing,
You're weak if you
right?
ask for help. You can't do it on
Yes.
your own. It's like everybody can do it on your own. What's wrong with you? Yeah.
Yes, and that was a really turning point for me where I started changing my my life and everything was really uncertain, but also the best, like, and the better and better and the best until I got into the point where I feel like so good in my body and I never really felt like this before. And this is what I want, like, you to experience as well, because it is possible. It is possible really, really to feel good and not to be afraid of your emotions, not to be afraid of whatever is happening with you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? I had no spiritual practices whatsoever before. I had no tools. And this is
I
like why,
personally was judging it as hippie. Like when I heard about mentioning, I'm
yeah,
like, that's
yeah,
for hippie people, like,
yes,
and
yes.
yeah, and I find it ridiculous how, as you're talking about this, I'm like, isn't it crazy that you need courage to actually not do anything? And our society
Mm,
pushes the opposite. It's like, yeah, and the grind and work harder and like that takes courage. Like, you're in this warrior, like it's pushing this warrior mode. And it's like, a warrior is actually one that can love, and a warrior that's actually that it's not one that fights, that has walls. A warrior is actually like one that has healthy boundaries. That's freaking terrifying. Setting boundaries with people that you love. That's freaking terrifying. That takes courage. And it takes courage to take pleasure, to receive pleasure from your life. And I remember, like, even noticing right now, guys, as you're watching this, the word pleasure. How much resistance do you have? One, I'm so not comfortable with it. 10, I'm masterful at this. From 1 to 10, where are you at with this? The word pleasure. I know I would have resistance to it. Yudita, how would you have resistance to that word back then?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
I was so not comfortable with this, whether it's like anything, like whether it's, even surrendering to the fullness of sexual pleasure or the fullness of like, oh, I can just be lazy. My mother used the word, she didn't speak English, but she had such pride. When she learned the word lazy, she's like, oh my God, I know what to call Anna now. And that was kind of like a mean thing to say, like, oh, you're lazy. And it was only later after I did the shadow work that I realized like, oh my God, she was saying that was coming from someone who has in maybe 20 years of work probably taken vacation time one time in 20 years. She did not, she took pride of like, I never take vacation days. Those people take vacation days. I don't take vacation days. And it's like that person was using the word lazy because that was something they were uncomfortable with. If you're comfortable with pleasure, with taking time off, with relaxing, with, I don't know, pampering yourself, with giving to yourself, with receiving from life, from yourself, from others, you wouldn't label someone as lazy. You would label as, oh, they know how to receive, they know how to relax, right? Because you have come in the right relationship with it. But if you are judging, pleasure, joy within you, you're going to be judging that outside of you. Okay.
Mm.
And this is why we're addressing this and the sensitivity of the body right now in transitions, because we do want to give you some pointers here. The sensitivity to the body is everything, because as you come to you, and like you just said, it's, that's the courageous act, really. You become more sensitive to the transitions. Our society is there like, oh, go, go, go. You're supposed to function in the exact same way the whole year round. Think of it like even moments like, someone you love passes away. Okay, well, you have a few days to grieve and then get back to work. It's like a grieving process takes a while. The change of season, the cyclical nature, it's like we were born to be in alignment with that, to live in regards to that. And we're just supposed to perform the exact same way all year round. And that goes against our nature. So
It's beautiful.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No, you know what just was coming into my mind, sorry, as you were talking, like what our teacher Veronica said about that women actually like, are go like,
Mm,
their cycle is 28 days
yeah,
until they recharge again, and the men
yeah,
are recharging every 24 hours. And when
yeah.
I really like got this information, I realized, oh my God, yes, I'm like every week I'm a different woman. I'm going through the hormonal,
For
changes and
four
like
weeks, yeah, yeah.
for 4 weeks. And then the like when I start like bleeding, right? Finally I feel after my bleed that I am just like, going through the recharge, or I'm just
Mm.
like, letting go and then just recharging again. And then I'm just doing it a whole like, again. So
Yes.
yes.
Gosh, I feel like
This
we
is
need to make a whole other video in regards to that, because it's like mastering transition. This is why specifically for women, this is so crucial, because like you're going through a much longer transitional period than men, and it's a month. And
mm,
understanding your, when am I most productive? When am I most like, when is it my cave time that I don't want to be seen. I just want to be with me, and honoring that. And that we are functioning in a male society that is just, that is more attuned to the male cycle. And
mm.
yes, let's say you have a job. Yes, you have responsibilities, but it's not an either or. And you're not going to get anywhere if you self-abandon. But it's like, yes, there are responsibilities, and this is the society that we live in. But how do we learn to honor ourselves while also functioning in the world? Okay. And there is a way to do this. And this is why we're really excited to. We're going to be doing several lives to support you guys on this journey. But in January, we will be doing a confident, connected woman circle. And if you want more information about that, the link's going to be below. So, the main takeaway, Yudita, and the main invitation for the people listening, what can you summarize that in regards to
Mm.
the cycle, in regards to feeling or attuning to the
I,
body? Yeah.
what was actually coming to me, like when we were talking about laziness, right, and not being able to relax, what was coming for me is like there like needs to be a work done for you if you are not comfortable with saying right now, I'm lazy and I'm okay with that. I'm
Yes.
lazy and I'm okay. I
Owning the
am just like
laziness. Yes.
celebrating that and I'm just okay with that and not
Mm.
feeling guilty. And yeah, because it took me a while to do that, to be okay with it. I'm still going through that process, still like learning, right? It's never like, ending learning still. It's not that I just like, like done something and then I am done, right? It's like a never ending process, but I can feel okay when I'm just like having a day and just doing nothing. Can you just imagine like, like doing nothing? So maybe I'm just actually like I will summarize it with this, like giving you a challenge, like can you do nothing? Like, just for 5 minutes. 5 minutes for 5 days, like, give yourself permission where you're just doing
Oh,
nothing
I love
and
it.
you don't feel like, guilty. And let us know down below in the comments, how did it go? How did you feel? If there was something like coming through, some emotions,
Are you even
and
comfortable right now with this? Like, God, 5 minutes is a lot. Of like, oh yeah, I do it. Then if you do it, if you're comfortable with that, how about extending that to 10 minutes? And
Yeah.
honestly, I have a whole day now that it's like a flowy day and what do I want to do? But I remember when I first started, I was like, taking 5 minutes for myself and just self-care. It's like, no, I have kids to take care of and I have a household and I have responsibilities. It's like, who am I to do that? Like I have to. It was like a status symbol of like, oh, the busier I am and the more burnt out I am, the better person, the more successful I am. Like I'm doing life right. And if I'm exhausted. And it's like, it's not. It's really not. Yeah.
Mm.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And we're going to be back, by the way,
Yes.
doing these videos in 2 weeks. And we look forward to
Yeah.
sharing more wisdom with you guys again.
Yeah.
And
Thank
again,
you
my
so much
channel
for
and
joining.
Judita's channel is down below. Many blessings.